Hello everybody and welcome to Dr. Master Marino's Guide to Annotating. What we're going to be looking at is the very beginning of J.D. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye, and we're going to see how we go about annotating, which is an advanced system of note-taking. Annotating has to be more than simply writing down what happened. It's more than a literal recording of the events. You can get those kinds of summaries anywhere. This is about your interacting with the text. This is about your asking questions, clarifying points, and starting to make inferences based on what you've seen. So let's take a look at the first page, where our narrator begins by saying, if you really want to hear about it, the first thing you'll probably want to know is where I was born and what my lousy childhood was like and how my parents were occupied and all before they had me and all that David Copperfield kind of crap. But I don't feel like going into it if you want to know the truth. Now, from the very first sentence, what do we know? We know we have a first-person narrator. That's something I would want to take note of. And for us, a lot of our copies now might be digital. Maybe we can, maybe we can't write on them if they're PDFs. So we should be able to take notes separately, creating a separate notebook log. It's a pretty effective way to going about this. That you're looking at, you say, page 1, okay, narrator is first person. Okay, what other inferences can you make about it? This is someone who doesn't really seem to be wanting to tell us this story. You know, if you really want to hear about it, so there's a certain level of sarcasm and self-deprecation there. For you, as a younger audience, you say, oh, that David Copperfield kind of crap. You go, well, who is that? Well, that's when Google is your friend. Look it up. Take a note. Who is David Copperfield? And then look it up, because does it matter? Is it important? In the first place, that stuff bores me. And in the second place, my parents would have about 2 hemorrhages apiece if I told anything pretty personal about them. Okay, so he gives you a little bit of an insight as to what his relationship was like with his parents. So right there, I would have isolated this and said, okay, parents are, very emotional, over the top, or at least that's what he's telling us about them. You know, when he gets to the next sentence, they're quite touchy about anything like that, especially my father. They're nice and all, I'm not saying that, but they're also touchy as hell. So it's not all bad. You know, we have this line right here. They're nice and all, so it's not terrible. He doesn't hate them, but they're parents, and so now you start to realize how old he must be. That you say, all right, he's probably not an adult, because an adult wouldn't speak this way. At least, I hope not. Besides, I'm not going to tell you my whole goddamn autobiography or anything. I'll just tell you about this madman stuff. And you say, what do you mean madman stuff? What does that mean? That happened to me around last Christmas, just before I got pretty run down and had to come out here to take it easy. So now you say, what happened to him around Christmas? What does that mean, he had to come down and take it easy? That's an interesting idea. I mean, that's all I told DB about, and he's my brother-in-law. He's in Hollywood. That isn't too far from this crummy place. Well, okay. He's in Hollywood. And that's not too far from this crummy place, so right away you figured out he's somewhere in California. But that's not where he's from, because he had to come out here. He's going to drive me home when I go home next month, maybe. He just got a Jaguar, one of those little English jobs that can do about 200 miles an hour. It cost him damn near $4,000. Now, right there, you've got a Jaguar costing somebody $4,000. That should give you an idea. You say, gee, when was this written? He's got a lot of dough now. He didn't used to. He used to just be a regular writer when he was at home. He wrote this terrific book of short stories, The Secret Goldfish, in case you never heard of him. The best one in it is The Secret Goldfish. It's about this little kid that wouldn't let anybody look at his goldfish because he bought it with his own money. It killed me. Now he's out in Hollywood, DB, being a prostitute. Now, I don't think he literally means that his brother is being a prostitute, but his brother is a writer making a lot of money in Hollywood. And this shows you what our narrator's attitude is towards Hollywood and the movies. Because as he says, if there's one thing I hate, it's the movies. Don't even mention them to me. So those are the kinds of questions and ideas you should be asking when you look at this first piece. And that is an idea of how we should be annotating as we go forward.